What's up, everybody? Tricky Guy Podcast, Double B here with you. Brent Bilski, your host. I am a former award-winning radio host. I am a former college basketball player. I am still a sports fan, and I am the host of this show. What's up? Lots of things. Well, this is kind of a quickie today, but I had something I have to get into immediately. There's plenty to discuss, but don't bury the lead is something you learn early on in radio. Do not bury the lead. So the weekend was great. The Final Four. We have our Final Four. And, of course, all of you, I'm sure, by the way, how'd your brackets go? How'd you guys figure that out? How'd you guys do? Were you guys part of the 37 of 20 million that I'm talking to currently? Am I talking to all 37 of 20 million people that did a bracket that had 5th seed Miami taking on 4th seed UConn on one side versus 5th ranked San Diego State University and 9th ranked Florida Atlantic for your men's Final Four? Sure, I'm talking to all 37 of you that got that right. I'm going to get the perfect bracket. You're going to win. You're going to be elected president the same day you knock up Halle Berry. 1 in 9 quintillion. 1 in 9 quintillion. Your chances of ever picking the perfect bracket are 1 in 9 quintillion. As I've told you before, that means basically if I asked you to find the only grain of sand that I'm looking for on the entire planet, there are 7 quintillion grains of sand on planet Earth. You have a better chance of doing that than you have a better chance of picking your perfect bracket. But anyways, it is cool. I mean, there was some history being made there in the Final Four. The fact is, this is the first time since seeding has began that there has never been a 4 seed or higher in the Final Four. 3 of the top 4, the ones that are left, we have Miami, UConn, and Miami, San Diego State, and Florida Atlantic, who have never been to the Final Four. It looks like UConn has been just handed this perfect road to get another national title out there. Although, we're finding out in college that you never know. You never know. By the way, shout out to Caitlyn Clarke in Iowa, the 41-point triple-double. I will discuss that as well, some NBA. But again, I can't bury the lead. I cannot bury the lead. The biggest thing that happened over the weekend, and one of the most significant things about watching college basketball, no one's discussing, no one's talking about it.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't know what you guys are missing out on. There is something so unbelievably, and I'm going to keep
frustrating. Frustrating. It's frustrating.
There is something frustrating about watching college basketball and just some of the utter stupidity that I see in these really important games. And I feel bad because somebody, the coach, the players, somebody should know better than to do what I saw this weekend. It was the dumbest thing by far that I've seen.
Just when I think
and I don't
you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
And I don't want to pick on Carr from Texas, but I'm gonna. There was something that happened. So to give you an idea, just again, trying to watch, I'm a pro guy. I like watching pros versus college because it is just mind-boggling. Put your mind in a bottle. It is so frustrating to try to watch college basketball and watch these guys who have worked their whole lives for this one shining moment just do something incredibly stupid. And Darren Fox, by the way, former Kentucky star, lit up Lonzo Ball in that famous duel versus UCLA that one year he spent his one-and-done year in college. They asked him yesterday about watching the Final Four and all that. Get a load of what Darren Fox had to say. I'm completely with him on this. Completely.
I kind of flip through college games. I can't watch a full college game.
Really?
No, I can't.
Is it that bad?
It's hard. Okay. It's hard. Just the shot making is not at, obviously, the pro level. The refs are bad. A lot of coaching is really bad. I can't stand it.
Frustrating.
I'm with him.
Frustrating. It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
With him 1,000%. And I'm telling you what happened. So what happened, the game I want to discuss and what Darren's talking about, I mean, the coaching specifically was so the one of the games that we saw yesterday was Miami, 5th seed Miami rallies from 13 points behind in the second half, the largest comeback of the tournament to beat University of Texas, the biggest seed standing after Houston, Alabama, all the 1 seeds lost. The last big and really a great chance to come back. They would have been in Houston for the Final Four, University of Texas right down the street. In Austin, you would have had plenty of fans. Could have been really like a home court advantage. Well, they ended up blowing the whole thing, and they're gone.
And it's gone.
And the reason they're gone is what I want to discuss. So it was a great story. You know, Jim Laranga, the Laranaga coach of Miami, last time he was here 17 years ago, took little 11 seed George Mason all the way to the Final Four. You had the guy Jordan Miller have the only game besides Christian Laettner. He went 7 of 7, 13 of 13 from the free throw line, had himself the only perfect game since Christian Laettner of taking at least 7 shots or more. But the end of the game is where we have to go, and no one's talking about it. I tried to find the highlight I want to discuss. All I can find is the beginning part of this. The foul with 35 seconds left. I really...
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't want to pick on Carr. I don't want to pick on Texas because this is just a microcosm of what happens so much in college basketball. But it was so significant. And I'm watching the game. I'm with someone else, and I'm watching, trying to explain how bad college basketball can be. And I'm like, they just make these really dumb decisions in really important times. And so 45 seconds left in the game. It is 81-79. And if you watch the highlights of this, so Carr for Texas had just scored it with $1:30 left to tie it. Then there's a foul on the one side. That was at least fair. You know, the kid was trying to box out the Miami dude, so they're down 81-79. And everyone showed you this part. So with 45 seconds left, this was the play that you see in all the highlights, you see on all the different, situations, but I could not find what happened after this, but I'll show you at least what happened. So this is the play. There's 45 seconds left. Texas is down 2 at this point, 81-79, still a close game. And he goes down and he takes kind of a bad shot. Here, I'll show you the clip.
81-79. They go with Timmy Allen falling to the ball. We have the small pack up now.
So, that happens. It's college. He goes in, he tries to do a little spin move, he gets it stolen. But I want to highlight, and I'm going to go back here, look at where the score is and the time when he loses this ball. Because this is I don't understand. No one talked about it. I looked at so many different highlight packages and every video I could. Anyone on the screens, all the analysts and everyone else, no one talked about this, and I don't get it. It was 81-79 with 43 seconds left when he loses that ball. That means in a 30-second shot clock, all you have to do if you're the University of Texas is get a stop, get the ball back. As I look, they still had 2 timeouts, so you had 2 chances. After you hopefully, with 43.8 seconds left, Miami's now got the ball. That means if you get a stop, you get the rebound, and call timeout, you should have at least 10 seconds in order to go ahead and, give yourself a chance to tie the game. That is not what happened. And because no one is talking about this, so right after this play, and I'm going to find this for the next one because I need to show it to you. After, the screw-up, he goes down, and Wong, by the way, who's an 87% free throw shooter for Miami, has the ball. He fouls him right at half court after like 5 or 6 seconds of dribbling around, where UT, all they have to do is try to get a stop, get the ball. They're still only down 2, and they'll be able to get another chance to try to tie the game. He immediately, as soon as Wong crosses half court, an 87% free throw shooter, Carr just starts slapping and hacking, and right in front of the referee. And the referee, of course, calls the foul, and that's the game, folks. I mean,
and it's gone.
You just gave an 87% free throw shooter 2 free throws in a 2-point one-possession game. All you had to do was get a stop. And I'm going to lose my mind on this because this is beyond stupid.
Well, then everyone
no
loses
one
their
talks about
minds.
it. I don't understand how in all the discussion of this game, as I've heard everything in the world, no one seems to mention that in the most crucial possession of the game, they pointlessly fouled an 87% free throw shooter, which then, by the way, took it to 83-79. It became a 4-point game. Texas tried to come down, missed a little floater, and there was some other stuff that happened, but all that is a moot point when you are only down 2 and you have a chance to get a stop with 2 timeouts and get the ball back with at least 10 plus seconds left. That is your opportunity to try this game. The last thing you want to do is foul their best free throw shooter at half god dang court.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber.
And I can't get anyone to talk about it.
This.
How am I the only one? How am I the only person who watches these college games and watches them come down? Now, everyone talked about San Diego Creighton, just to give you an idea. Okay, so this is the one, I'll show you this one now, since I'm just, now I'm in a mood. See, now I'm going. Okay, it was a tie game in San Diego Creighton, and I'll give them, if you're a Creighton fan, this was a tough call. 0.7 seconds left in a tie game, but still, he does reach a little bit. He does go for the ball. So I have a hard time being completely sympathetic to Creighton fans. But everyone talked about this foul. This foul, everyone discussed. Everyone talked about the significance. Here, let me show you this.
Win.
56-56.
Get it in. A rope. Hands it to Trammell. 3 seconds. 2 seconds. Trammell drives. He's fouled.
Foul. In a tie game to go to the
Trammell.
Final 4.
Go to the free throw line.
It's all about getting the turn towards the basket. Played it perfectly from a timing perspective. Let's see if there's a hit.
And he catches him a little on the hip. I mean, it's a tough call.
Left arm is down low. He didn't hit him with the right arm. The left arm might be on the hip. Let's take another look.
Right
see that
there.
Left hand on the hip.
Catches him a little on the hip.
I'm a big believer, Ian, in that.
And you see everyone's faces, by the way, as their hands are up. And everyone's like, oh, my God, I can't believe. And, whether you agree with that call or not, you still, at least that was within the makeshift of the last second shot. He did get around a 5 or 6 foot floater. You do want to try to contest that as much as you can. But that reaction that everyone had of like, oh, my God, we just lost the game. I cannot believe he just called that foul in a tie game with a second left, and poor Creighton and everyone and their fans and the players and everyone's going like, we just lost the game. This game is over.
And it's gone.
And that Noel kid, by the way, made it interesting. He missed the first free throw and had to make the second to go ahead and put him ahead. But that reaction, where and why is that reaction not the same for a Texas-Miami game where once again it was a 1-possession game, you're only down 2, and Carr, for no human reason I can understand, as soon as their best free throw shooter crossed the half-court line, starts slapping at him, fouls him, gives them 2 chances to go ahead and put them up to a 4-point lead. And at least if he only makes 1 or 2, now it's a 3, and then it could start going back and forth. It's so unbelievably just, I don't. This is why I hate the sport. And I'm going to just hammer this home that all of you that analyze sports or basketball or do anything, the fact that you aren't mentioning how in the significance of stuff like that, I don't quite get. I really don't understand how you aren't processing the level of stupidity of doing something like that is. I mean, statistically, arguably, it is better. Like, let's say that that Wong kid was like, let's say he makes 75 out of 100 from the top of the key. Let's say he's about a 75% shooter from the top of the key. It is statistically a better idea because he's 90% from the free throw line. It is statistically a better idea if he was like 65, 70% from the top of the key for your defense in that same possession, in only down 2, to everyone just stand under the basket and say, well, you know what, we're going to give you a free shot. From 18 feet out, we know you make that about 70% of the time. We're just gonna, you know what, we're gonna pull our pants down, we're gonna sit Indian style, and we're just gonna let you take a free shot from about 15 feet away for the game. That is statistically a smarter idea than fouling someone who's 90% when you don't want to let this become a 2-possession game with 30 seconds left, and you had a chance to get a rebound and.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I've watched it happen 100 times, and it's so hard to watch college basketball because of this. And it's so hard to watch people discuss all the ins and outs. I mean, the Final Four is just, it's one of the biggest things in the world. Everyone watches March Madness, one of the most watched games, and that was a great game to watch. awesome comeback by Miami. Great for the coach. Great for that Miller kid. We'll see if they can go ahead and pull it all off. But how? The biggest thing, in my opinion, or at least the most significant play as far as impact. We saw it in San Diego Creighton. We saw everyone go, oh, my God, that foul. That sucks, because at least if he just would have, had to take that shot, kind of a contested floater, at least that's a puncher's chance. You put a good shooter on the line, on the free throw line, even in college, with 2 chances, 10 seconds, no one bothering him just to take a couple shots at it, he probably gets the lead on there. How is it not? I know. I'm going to hammer it. Honestly, so if you watched a game where they just decided to let someone shoot a wide open 15-footer and you were like, wow, the hell did you do that for? And if he made the shot, I think they'd be after the game, what do you think happened? Well, I think when they all pulled their pants down and stopped playing defense and gave him the 80% shooter from the free throw line area, a wide open jumper in the most important possession of the game, I thought that was odd. That is actually, to me, smarter than fouling an 88% free throw shooter. Coach was all sad, by the way. I did feel bad for Coach Terry from Texas. I'll kind of I'll quit crying about this. But I can't find that play anywhere. I will find that video at some point and bring it to you, because Jesus Christ, you guys missed the entire story there. But yes, so there was a whole situation, by the way, University of Texas, with their head coach getting fired because of something with his wife, something domestic. We don't really know. Still, this was kind of rough after the game. The interim coach Rodney Terry, post press conference, and you could tell really, cares about these kids, cares about this game. It's probably the biggest game of his life, the kid's life. It's very rare you get the chance to do this. So post game at the press conference, here he was, and it's pretty.
Guys, when they have the firstborn, and it was all about this team, man. And I enjoyed every single day of this journey with this group, and I'm gonna really miss. I really miss working with this group. So it was never about me, it was always about these guys. And I love these guys.
I really don't want to be a jerk to someone who's actually showing some emotion. It's actually kind of sweet.
You crying, boy? You crying, boy? Maybe we'll go back down to McDonald's and get you a Lamburger and some French fries.
Yeah, but the hell was that noise again? That was pretty.
So it was never about me, it was always about these guys. And I love these guys.
Let me rewind a little bit more, because that was just.
I really miss working with them.
Are you not paying attention, though? You let him. Why did you let him? I really think if I was a coach, and by the way, they did say as interim coach, there was a new report that he will hopefully get the permanent head coaching job. Great. Still, at some point, I really hope that people get you're giving people 2 shots. You're giving high percentage shooters in a game where at least if you just play defense and it's a much significantly less lower percentage that they don't get 2 points on a contested shot where you don't foul than doing this and then afterwards going
Crying all the time. Quit crying. Just a push-up or something.
Anyways, great. I mean, it was fun. College is fun. It's stupid. It's fun. It's kind of like spring break. A lot of memories, and a lot of them you don't want to remember, but good time. And so, yeah, Miami-UConn will be the next game that will be of most significance, although San Diego State and Florida Atlantic will be fun. I think both of them will probably be fodder. But it's college. You never know. You never know. I mean, someone might just, who knows? Someone might just, up one, decide to drop kick the ball down into the 8th row or something, and then everyone will act like nothing just happened. Maybe. I will say, on the women's side of the ball, Caitlyn Clarke. Caitlyn Clarke is that dude. Caitlyn Clarke, who, by the way, I did mention and told you guys.
See, I done told you. I told y'all
Caitlyn Clarke is nice with it. Out of Iowa in the women's side of the Final Four. Just dropped the first 41-point game triple-double in NCAA tournament history. 41 points, 12 rebounds, 10 assists, and was just cooking. Just killing folks. Caitlyn Clarke is the closest to like Steph Curry-esque of the women's division I've seen in a minute. I mean, this girl can do her thing, and she's got little Iowa in the Final Four for the first time in over 30 years or something like that. She's really kind of taken over the tournament, and rightfully so, because as I'll show you here, the girl knows what she's doing. Here's Caitlyn Clarke dropping 40 in the last game to get them to the Final Four. She nice.
Free. Clarke, step back three.
Step back, take that.
Is good. Here's Clarke, guarded by Robinson. Clarke firing again. Oh, my!
Yep.
Clarke will fire and hit. Clarke finds Stokey. Sure, Jeff Walls loved the shot. Here's Clarke. Oh, what a no-look. Warnock figures career. Here's Clarke wide open. You bet. Kono into the game for Louisville. Clarke decides to take. Why not?
Beautiful, smooth release. You see the shake in her. I mean, this is not something we see every day. I am not, by the way, dissing the women at all. I am not dissing women's basketball.
I love the ladies.
Don't do that.
They rev my engine.
I've even said, by the way, as I watched and got so pissed off by the stupidity of men's college basketball not being able to break full court presses, doing stupid fouls at the most significant times. And when I watched the women's game, and as I watched Caitlyn in a couple other games, I will say, and I'll say it again, they play the game smarter. I don't know how much of a surprise that should be, that, they're the mind that is stereotypically more detail-oriented, better at following instruction, better at just thinking things through. The zones and the presses, when on the women's side, when they run a zone, they throw it right to the middle as you're supposed to, get the defense to collapse, kick out to shooters. When there's a full court press, they do the very simple, not so hard thing to figure out, which is, hey, as soon as they trap you, put someone in the empty space where there's only 3 players left to guard 4, throw that person the ball, rinse and repeat. But Caitlyn Clarke is going to be a huge – she's already becoming a name, and barring injury, I don't see what this kid is missing. Matter of fact, she's even got some swag, and she's got that quiet swag, which is always kind of – it's more fun when they kind of got that humble swag. So this was the other video I thought was cute about this. Caitlyn Clarke going to town and did a little gesture that the announcers had no clue what was going on.
Another rebound, Warnock, who's having a huge game.
That's not the
Again,
shot.
give me that.
Clarke connects.
Give me that.
On a 3.
Clutch, too. She's clutch.
Third in the nation in points per game as she hits the deep 3. I don't know what that means.
I love, by the way, how white and just clueless that announcer sounded. I have no idea what that means. What is this? It's wrestling. It's John Cena. It's the "You Can't See Me." I'm a wrestling dork, for those of you that don't know, but I just want to hear that lady one more time. I have no idea. I have no damn clue. What in the world was that? Oh, where'd it go?
I don't know what that means.
I ain't got a good brain.
So Caitlyn Clarke is a big deal. And by the way, from early on in this podcast, I told y'all she was going to be. I don't want to take all the credit for that one, but I done told you.
See, I done told you.
So that was the main things I want to get to. I do have some quick news and notes, though. By the way, is NBA, as I will transition from college to NBA here as smoothly as hopefully I can. I do have one more shot called. Now, my man T ain't here today.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
New little segment I like to do. And it was about the Final Four predictions, as I was able to at least get one. Again, no one, 37 of 20 million got the Final Four. Just the Final Four, not everything leading up to the Final Four, by the way. Just the Final Four bracket of Miami, UConn, San Diego State, Florida Atlantic. Only 37 of 20 million got that right. But I will self-toot myself a little bit, because this was a week ago as we were trying to predict a March Madness upset. Here's your boy as I came up with this one. Maybe programs that aren't necessarily keeping up with, the extracurriculars of their team versus, say, a senior-led school who they're going to face now who looks pretty good. I've got number 5, San Diego State, upsetting guess who?
Run.
Who's the school we've been talking about?
Roll Tide. I know you're finna go. Alabama.
That's my upset pick for the weekend.
Brandon Miller, bring my joint. Hey, they're not going to lose.
Okay.
It should be like, I don't even know if this bracket is possible. It should be like Alabama and Houston.
They will face each other in the final. I mean, they won't even. They're going to have to get to the.
Houston.
They're going to no, because the Houston's in the Midwest and
Alabama and Houston.
Yeah, they would have to face in the national.
I'm going to call Alabama and Houston
national championship.
I'm calling that right now.
All right, I am telling you right
I'm
now.
going with UH for the win. I like Roll Tide, but I'm going with Houston, bro. Yeah.
San Diego State. I said San Diego State. I tried to tell you.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
I'm good at this. I'm good at basketball. Like, there's other sports we can discuss later, and I do discuss that you can try to pick on me for. But basketball, even college, which I don't even like watching, I was able to kind of figure that out. Although, again, getting the whole Final Four wasn't there. And I was wrong about one thing in the NBA. So let me go ahead, as I throw my called shot out there, transition now to the NBA and where I kind of did get something wrong.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Memphis, Ja Morant. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but it is interesting. Just quick news and notes of what's going on in the National Basketball Association. First of all, LeBron James came back after 13 games, and everyone was all excited. LeBron's back. The Lakers starting to creep back up into the playoffs. And the game he came back, they lost. So there you go. Then went on to make it all about himself, was saying things like, yeah, because he could have got surgery. It was a tendon injury in his foot, and went to a couple doctors, decided not to, and did come back. LeBron has always had a significant ability, not just longevity, but to recover from injury and tough. I don't want to completely diss LeBron, but they asked him afterwards, and he's like, yeah, I went and saw the doctor that's LeBron James of feet, and and I'm able to come back faster than any man in human history. Whatever. Lakers lost to the Bulls. Patrick Beverley was talking ish in his own house already, back on his troll job. But the Lakers continue to creep up, now only 2 games behind the Golden State Warriors, who are in the 6th seed. They continue to play just idiotic basketball at the end of games. They're too small. I watched them last night lose to Minnesota, where they had the lead, almost college-like. Draymond throws the ball away, leads to a Karl Anthony Towns 3. Then Jordan Poole throws the ball away with 4 seconds left. I mean, they had it. They needed it. They lost it. Continue to just go up and down. Gary Payton Jr. back, great, but they're too damn small, and they're going to be an issue. But this is where I have to go ahead and eat a little crow here. The Memphis Grizzlies are not just not struggling; they're doing pretty good.
The price is wrong, bitch.
Memphis Grizzlies are 9-1 in their last 10. Ja Morant, back from his 8-game suspension, came right back, scores 27 points in his first starting game. Memphis crowd, I mean, every crowd he's been to so far, just woo, loving him, loving it. Bane had 25. Jackson continues to play well. Tyus Jones off the bench is continuing to do his thing. The Memphis Grizzlies now pretty much secured the 2nd seed with only like 7-8 games left for most teams. They are now 47-27. They are 2 games ahead of the Sacramento Kings in 2nd, and Denver is continuing to kind of limp towards the end of the regular season here. So as a 2nd seed, which other than Denver, they would have home court, which is significant if you're a Memphis Grizzlies fan, because they're 15-22 on the road and 32-5 at home. The Memphis Grizzlies have the best home record in all of the Western Conference. So the fact that there's only one team ahead of them as far as for a home court advantage, where they're 32-5. They've won 9 of their last 10. The NBA and Ja Morant, they just, after all that, just let him waltz right back in. He's doing great, scored 27 in limited minutes. They're continuing to roll, so there you go.
What does that do? Does that blow your mind?
And I'm a cynical guy. I really did think that there would be apparently they couldn't find they were able to not put him in a place, even though that gun got to Shotgun Willie's, and he showed it on his own Instagram live video. They were not able to connect the dots of, was it on a team plane? I really thought that they were going to be able to connect the dot between team plane, team bus, somehow how that gun got in his hand had to be involved somewhere. I don't want to get back into the whole Ja thing. Only thing I will mention, though, the internet, as I've said a million times, does not lose ever. And this video went viral. For people that don't remember the first incident with Ja Morant, someone was having fun with it. Here's live footage from the Ja Morant first incident at the pickup game with the 17-year-old kid.
I got bells, I got shells, shoot a nigga up 'cause I ain't worried about shit. Diamonds on my neck and on my wrist. I got lots of perkies on me.
For people that just think I've just played a rap song for no reason, that was, if you're just listening, that was Randy Orton beating the crap out of Sheamus with a chair with the caption, Ja Morant when he sees a 17-year-old. Yeah. But, hey, Memphis rolling. Memphis is rolling and has a very good chance, when you look at the Western Conference, as messed up as it is, to at least make it to the NBA Finals. Do they get past Milwaukee or now Boston, who's surging? I don't think so. But, when I thought the season was over, I really did. I really thought they were going to have to keep Ja just quiet till the end of the year, and you can't lose your best player and expect to roll into the playoffs. They might be able to get it done. Hopefully, just keep him away from teenagers, keep him away from his sister's basketball game, keep him away from his mom being at a finish line, keep him away from getting in issues with the Indiana Pacers staff, keep him away from, the last one, going to Shotgun Willie's and being at a strip club at 5 in the. Other than that, maybe just bubble wrap his ass and just roll him out to the court. And, other than, I just have armed security surrounding him all the time. It should be fine. Nothing to worry about. Lord. All right, I want to finish off here. As I could say right there, this phrase I want to use. I have a couple more videos I want to throw at you. These are always fun. Watching the Texas game, watching some of the things I've watched over the weekend, watching Memphis get a just free pass from the NBA, basically. It's hard for me not to say, are you shitting me? Apparently I'm not the only one. Now, listen to this. This was during a Major League Baseball game, and they're starting to say this was a mix-up of two guys talking at once. Tell me what you think here, as this is pretty much what I screamed over and over watching the Final Four and the Elite Eight this weekend. But look at this.
Score first as Quan comes home. Into second base is Owen Miller. And Sheets just simply botched it.
Now, pretty clearly, it sounds like Gavin Sheets caused the announcer to say, "Are you shitting me?"
First as Quan comes home. Into second base is Owen Miller. And Sheets just simply botched it.
Now, I have been told, though, and if you're just listening, tell me if you don't think this, that the announcer, because I forget the name of the guy that's doing, but it's a long-time professional Major League Baseball announcer. They are very aware, as any broadcaster with any experience. Like, I know I'm saying right now, are you shitting me? Because it's a podcast and it's not made for 8-year-olds and whatever. So, but I'm telling you, even the great all-time legendary, like, you can't really find Harry Carey for all the things he said, be like, "Hey, are you shitting me?
Come swim!
Is that Andres Galagaragra? I can't even say his name right. That's his name. Are you shit?" You don't hear that very often. So the story goes is that the announcer was saying, "Are you kidding me?" at the exact same time that the other announcer was saying the last name of the player, Gavin Sheets, and they just happened to so perfectly combine into the combination that formed that phrase. But I don't know. It's pretty close.
First as Quan comes home. Into second base is Owen Miller.
And
Sheets just simply botched it.
All right, one last time, and then I'll let the audio files have fun with that. Is it the combination of Sheets and kidding?
Miller. And Sheets just simply botched it.
I think it is. It's kind of like the illusion of you see something like the blue or gold dress. It depends on. But once you are like, they'll say like you'll hear a word being played, and it'll sound like one. But as soon as they say no, it sounds like the other one. You'll hear the other word. You ever done those little audio tests? The more I hear it, the more I do hear the kidding and Sheets combined. But all flowed out, still sounds pretty funny.
The base is Owen Miller. And Sheets just simply botched it.
I would say the same thing. The Card, University of Texas, and Coach Terry's crying ass.
Crying all the time. Quit crying, just a push-up or something.
You fouled in a 2-point game with 30-something seconds, with plenty of time left on the shot clock to get the ball back. Are you kidding, Sheetsing me? University of Texas.
This is Owen Miller. And Sheets just simply botched it.
Got a couple more. I'll throw you one or two more here, and then I got to roll out. I got stuff to do. I really just wanted to make the point. Today I really just want to come in and discuss the biggest thing over the weekend that no one else did, the Texas thing. I really don't understand, and I will repeat this until you guys are like, please stop repeating it. I need this beaten into your head, a la Semi-Pro, the Will Ferrell movie. I need the puke. I want to puke when I watch important games get blown by a dumbass foul that had no reason to be done. Things that cheer me up a little bit more. This is... All right. I'm going to warn you, I might be stepping in it a little bit.
And here we go.
This I don't know where this was. I don't know why it happened. Apparently I'll just show you the video and then we'll describe it. Just check this out, and yeah, I'm gonna be real careful with it. A couple guys playing soccer. Nothing to see. Nice little pirouette and some guys playing soccer, I guess. I don't remember the World Cup quite like that. I remember Messi getting his, finally getting his due in a very exciting final versus France there. Was that France? Was that France out on the field? Some things are a little bit, I will say, there are certain parts of life and this thing that you're born with, and then there are still choices like what you or who you decide to be with. I think especially sexually, let's just say it. For people, I do think that that's not a choice. You're born with the preferences that you're born with. You have it in all the animal kingdom. We're not the only ones, and it's really who cares. But that was a lot of choice. There was a lot of decisions being made of we're not just going to have this, apparently. I have to find the entire preface of why this happened. But, I mean, clearly this is supposed to be a gay World Cup. This is, there was no need for there was a lot of choices made in this clip. Now, maybe this is all just a funny video. I really got to find out more about this. But there's a crowd. I mean, there's people there. If it's a joke, they're in on it. I mean, maybe it's a tie. It looks, a lot of showmanship. Does the pier and then the little thing and then goal! So that happened. And one more I saw over the weekend where I was like, okay. The blind long jump. Okay.
Men's long jump, T11. Lex Gillette. His 4th round jump. Well, that's got
the athlete struggling here with the noise from the crowd. That one looked like it might have.
I would need some help as far as, I'm sure this is like a Special Olympics event. You know, he looks like a great athlete. And, maybe the crowd noise did not allow him to jump straight. I mean, dude, that's probably of all the senses that I would hate to lose the most. I think sight would probably be the worst. I mean, it sucks to lose any sense, but, man, not being able to see. So I don't want to. And the reason I will say this, too, is that, by the way, it's not like people that have vision in track and field don't also screw up. You know, it's not like it doesn't happen with regular people. So just to not completely be an a-hole here, look at this.
Get out there.
Oh. So, you know, hey, everyone's doing their thing. Everyone gives it their shot. Even all of that I just saw was still less jarring than Carr fouling in a one possession game to make it a 2-possession game, an 88% free throw shooter when you have a chance to go to the Final Four. All you have to do is get a stop, get a timeout, you have a chance to tie the game and be home to Houston, and instead you didn't, you fouled. That was more jarring to watch than any of what I just showed you.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Gotta go. Please do not allow your players to foul at the end of games when it counts, because it's the stupidest thing you can do, period. Talk to you next week. Well, actually, we'll be back in a couple days to discuss Final Four previews, and we will get into all that when we return. Talk to you then.